I don't think it's good for
We are what you just said off mic. Yeah, the show must go on vibes
It's
today.
the show must go on vibes. The world is trying us and just making it so hard.
It's falling apart. Our lives are really hard.
I have a fungus.
Yeah. We're gonna get into that. Apologies if the sound quality is not awesome. I'm sure it's fine.
I'm
but
sorry, we're in a haunted house. We had to sort of record in a haunted house today.
No, we're just actually in my house. Lauren, I'm Lauren, and this is
a Concetta.
Yes, so we're in Lauren's house, which is actually not haunted. It's quite a modern apartment, I would say, built in the mid-80s. But I have a spooky candelabra. It's very echoey because we're using a different mic.
It's dark. It's moist. It's
dark,
you know.
It's dry. It's very dry.
I'm just kidding. We're just in a different location that isn't my sister's cool bedroom with the awesome backdrop, which is a graffiti wall. But we're just going to make do because we are queens and that's what we do. We go off.
And we're ready to go off. Well, Concetta, you brought it up, so let's get into it. You've got a fungal skin infection.
Say it again for everyone at the back. Fungal skin infection.
For anyone listening at home, I know you're wondering, is it a candida? Is it an athlete's foot? Well, this is actually not an athlete's foot because it is not just localized to your foot. The fungal infection has, in fact,
all over my body.
It has spread. It's spread. It's on your neck. It's on.
That just appeared today. That it's on my neck.
Yeah.
So what's the story? I just found little like red things on me. And immediately I knew something was up. But here's what made it awful. My dear friend Lauren kept gaslighting me and like shaming me for being worried because I was like, this looks really bad. And she was like, oh, would you shut the hell up, Concetta? I think you're ugly and you're stupid and that stuff on your body is just funny little...
Okay.
It's a prank.
Look, what happened was it looked like literally 3 small red dots. So even though when you hear the words fungal skin infection, you think it's, you know, oozing and disgusting and little mushrooms growing up out of the folds in your body and stuff like that. But it wasn't. It looked like
sweet. It looked cute.
It was really cute. It was like kind of like a heart-shaped dermatitis, and like it was like when people draw on freckles, you know, like it was just like little bits of red, and I was like, "You're fine. You've been walking around in a bikini."
Actually, that's what you said. Quote Lauren. She said, "You've been walking around in a bikini in the woods. What do you expect?" So again, like always, I'm asking for it, as Lauren likes to imply.
We were literally, we were in the rainforest and you were in a bikini top, and then you're like, "What are these small marks? They couldn't possibly be some kind of bug bite."
So anyways, today I woke up and I found one on my neck and there's just like a bit more. And here's the crazy part. I feel like this has to be relatable of having something wrong with you and it's the period between going to the doctor and finding out and just living with it. So in my head, I'm sort of walking the tightrope of like, what if I go to the doctor and find out I'm dying? Like find out it's something really awful. And all you can do is guess or like take your friends' roasts and other stuff like that. But it's like a weird place to be in. I have to try and put it out of my mind.
Pre-diagnosis.
Yeah, it's bad.
You got to record a podcast with this hanging over your head.
Yeah, big time.
I reckon you're going to get us, because we did go to the pharmacist, and that's where she was diagnosed with a fungal skin infection. And because we were just in the pharmacy, she's pulling up her shirt, he's inspecting her body.
I didn't know chemists could do that.
They're
like free doctors. That's
maybe
awesome.
They're kind of not meant to, but
I guess I was kind of hot.
This guy did. This guy took the opportunity.
You know, we've been talking about gossip. I actually have something that I'm dying to say, and I don't know if it's bad to say, but I won't name who it is. Yeah. But speaking of fungally blah blah, a friend of mine, what's the word? Not reached out, like opened up to me and told me that they had ringworm, and I was like, oh, cool.
Like currently?
Yeah. And do you want to know where this ringworm was? It was in a place that you would not expect, and I didn't expect.
The pussy.
The pussy.
In fact, Jenna, I did expect that. As soon as you said this ringworm is not what you expect, I thought it's gonna be
the pussy. Okay, because it was like she explained to me that it was like a halo around her.
Oh my god, I'd keep it.
It was like,
was she like, babe,
here's the flaps, and then like a halo of a red ring, and then inside white normal skin.
Yeah.
It kind of sounded beautiful. And I asked for a photo and she has not been able to find one to show me, and it's like, I guess it's going. But guess what?
Whatever.
Didn't go to the doctor. Googled it, asked a friend or something, just, I guess, self-treatment. And to me, that's insane.
That's insane, especially if it was on your
genitalia.
To me, that says, well, babe, maybe it was HPV.
Oh, no. Really? I'll reach out to her.
I don't know.
I'll reach out. We'll see. I mean, I'm desperate to show a doctor myself all the time. I'm always checking.
I'm desperate to show a doctor a picture of this ringworm pussy.
And this is something else I thought I could talk to you about. My partner, my gorgeous, handsome boyfriend, Benjamin, his father is a what? Doctor. Let me hear you say it. Doctor. And I immediately, when something was wrong with me and I saw those little dots, I was like, would it be inappropriate to send him photos of it and just like, ignore it because we're family? And I asked Ben and he said, absolutely, please don't. For other things we have, but for that, I think maybe, like, you know what I mean? What do you think? Can you send your boyfriend's parent photos of your body? Like,
I mean, like, living in Australia where we have free healthcare, I would see no reason to be sending. I would rather keep these things private.
Yeah.
And also, like, I'm sure as a doctor he would get like hit up all the time with stuff, people stop him on the street and they're like, I've got a halo on my pussy. So my inclination would be to go to the doctor, but I don't think it's like, it's like it's your neck, it's like just your back and stuff. It's not like it was like a tit thing.
No,
I wouldn't like go to him for a breast exam.
Yeah, I'd be like, I think I have an STI.
Yeah, I think that would be
over dinner. Yeah. Totally. Well, we've sorted that out. I'll just unsend a message I've sent.
Yeah, anyway, I'm just going to delete a message. Oh my God.
A couple of voice messages.
A few voice messages. Hey, I just thought I had to explain this in person, but I thought I'd send a voice message. I've got these spots.
Firstly, hey, how are you?
Thanks so much for having us over for about last week. Anyway.
Right, that's health news. That's our segment.
Health news. Well, that also brings me to this morning I had a bit of a message faux pas myself.
Oh, let's hear it.
Very funny. Okay, to get firstly where this is coming from, I'm part of a Facebook group called Rough Trade, and you know about this group.
I do. I'm in it.
Yeah, so it's like a buy, swap, sell group, but it's all just trading, no money exchanges. Mm-hmm. So you put up like, oh, I've got a haunted candelabra, I want to trade. Does anyone have? You can either say like, I don't care what you want for it, or you can say like, I need lemons. Does anyone want to trade me some lemons for this candelabra? Yeah. Okay. And then this was before Christmas, early December. I was getting ready to hand make my Christmas presents for the year. Yeah, absolute tight ass. Everyone say it. I was going to say kind of artisanal, maybe. Vibes are caring, but anyway, I thought I could do preserved lemons. Mm-hmm. And now I'm sure everyone remembers the price of lemons in December in Sydney was just through the roof. Was it? Okay. It was. Yeah, I'm aware. Everyone, I'm sure, remembers that. Yeah, absolutely. Relatable. Mm-hmm. So I thought I've got to get a whole lot of lemons. I'm going to make preserved lemons. So I went a rough trade. Long story short, I traded some beers for some lemons. Great. End of story. Mm-hmm. Or so I thought. Doesn't sound like it. So I thought. So it was a good trade. No dramas. And it was, my preference is always, and I'm sure you're probably the opposite, Concetta, is to do like a contactless trade. It's like, oh, don't even see them. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it on your doorstep. You leave them out. I never want to talk to the person. That would be good, but I've never had that. I always do that. I'm always coming in, sitting down for dinner. Babe, when are you home? Don't leave it out. I don't want to. I want to know you. I'm like, oh, is that you at the front door? I'm coming. You know when like Uber's like contactless trades? Yeah. Never done. I'm always waiting at the door. Well, it's never that, because that's the thing. It says like you have to do contactless, and then I like wait to see, and then they don't leave it. They just like walk around lost. You gotta go get it. It's never contactless. Yeah, you just you don't shake their hand, give them a kiss. You just sort of pass it. Distance. I'm like, ooh, okay, so what's this message? Anyways, what's going on? Yeah, so this was in literally early December. And then he messaged me, the guy with the lemons, he messaged me today, okay? And so just for, like you heard, like I didn't even...
So you gave him beer.
I gave him beers.
He gave you lemons. Mm-hmm.
That was end of transaction.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the 11th of December.
Mm-hmm.
He messaged me this morning. So we are in mid-March, okay? Almost 4 months from when we first traded. Saying, random question, comma, and then like a new paragraph. But, ... new paragraph.
Oh no.
Did your presents go down well? And I was like, what's the agenda here?
Oh,
what's going on?
He likes you.
And he likes me. And so then I just replied, I was like, well, I didn't want to, freak out or anything. So I just said, yeah, they were great. Thanks for the lemons. Thumbs up emoji.
This is I have a boyfriend too early scenario.
It really is.
This is, your brain is like, I'm going to say I have a boyfriend, and then if you say that, he's like, bitch, I was going to ask you because I blah, blah, blah.
I have more lemons. I wanted the recipe for how you made preserved lemons.
Yeah, I like Christmas or whatever.
Yeah, whatever, which are all valid reasons to message a woman to tell her that you like Christmas.
Yeah. Okay, what did he say?
And then he said, would it be a great start to a joke if you went for a drink with the lemon man? Space? Question mark.
Oh my God. You're being hit on in the craziest way possible.
I also hate it when people know that like I'm a comedian and then they like work that into how they're going to sexually harass me.
Oh, that's good.
It's like, would it be a good start to a joke? What do you mean? Like, it just like...
How does he know? Can he see all your Facebook now because of this thing?
I guess like my Facebook... I didn't know my Facebook was this unprivate. It's pretty locked down. I don't have my real name. But I guess it's still, like, probably pretty obvious who I am. Not that I'm famous.
That sort of sounded like it.
That I think I'm famous or that I am famous. I guess, I'm still recognizable on the street.
No, because I don't understand, like, how would this random guy know?
I don't even know. And then, like, 3 months later, like, it's pretty crazy.
I mean, he could probably Google you.
Yeah, I guess. So anyway... and then I just replied, I went in probably way sooner than you would have. I just said, I have a boyfriend, sorry.
Great. No, that's the right time.
It is. And look, this is where things get kind of crazy.
No! He says, I want the lemons back.
No, so look, obviously throughout all of this, I'm instantly screenshotting and sending all this onto the girls' group chat.
Oh, no. I know where this is going because I've absolutely been there.
So I'm like giving the girls live updates. I'm like, oh my God, this lemon guy, what the fuck? And we're all roasting him. I'm on his profile. I'm trying to look at his pictures.
Is he hot?
Well, it's weird. He has like a few different photos. He's got like a bunch of photos where it looks like he's like a 35-year-old man, which is fine. And that's like fine if you are. But then there's like his main profile picture. It's like he looks like an older man, like a 50-year-old man.
Which is also fine. No,
which is also fine, but not ideal. But then, okay, so then I meant to send this to my girls' chat. So after I said I have a boyfriend,
a picture of your tits.
I sent him a screenshot of his own profile picture. And I said, this is the only pic of him too. So it looks like I said, I have a boyfriend. And then I sent him a photo of himself. And I said, this is a photo of him.
So it's flawless. It went down great.
So it looks like I'm flirting with him.
I mean, that's better than the alternative.
I guess if I was like, he's an ugly fucking old cunt.
But also, wouldn't you like unsend straight away, or did it take you a second to realize?
I didn't even remember that was a feature.
Okay. Awesome. Well,
and
now you know. And now what
so
does he say?
He replies,
Stop.
ha, 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 spaces in between each ha. I feel like
this man is 70 years old.
Yeah, like the way he's typing tells me like, and then he says, he looks like he could beat me up for sure. And I didn't even clock it. Like, I thought he'd just gone on my profile and like looked at my boyfriend, and I was like, well, you are mistaken, sir, because my boyfriend couldn't and wouldn't kill a spider. But then I realized I'd sent him his own photo, and then I was like, oh my God, I ran in and I told Alex, my boyfriend, and he was like, you could just say like that you misspoke and that like that was the only picture of him. So I said, sorry, I misspoke. This is the only picture of you. I don't really know who you are. And then he was, you add me on Facebook so you can stalk. Spelt STORK. It's thoroughly uncurated. And then I said, no, sorry, I really do have a boyfriend. Another thumbs up emoji, which is like,
that is like, get out of my face.
Yeah, it's like, seriously.
That's, oh my God, that's like a rude finger.
And then he just said, still a good bit, winky face. I'm like, what? But anyway, that was crazy.
This is so funny. Oh my God, that is like an amazing story. And can I just relate to you about the one time that something similar like that happened to me? But this guy who I used to be friends with in this like group of people when I came back from Perth, was asking me out or flirting or something. And I took I'm talking like 20 screenshots of the whole conversation.
Oh yeah,
and I sent them all to him and did not realize until I realized and I was like, oh, sorry. And then he was like, what do you mean? Like, it hadn't reached him. And I was like, oh, never mind. And then he was like, I just got them. And I was like,
and then what did he say? Did he know? Like,
he knew. It was so obvious. But it was just like, oh, yeah, I'm just showing some girlfriends, I guess. But it was so, you can just change everything at the click of a button.
Oh my God.
But that is mental.
Yeah.
I love that though.
It was crazy. I was like, finally something's happened and I can talk about it on the podcast.
That's what we live for. It's for this.
It's why we do what we do.
We do what we do.
It's why we do what we do.
Oh, I'm obsessed.
The only other, I've got also today coming up, I've got some gossip.
Oof, we love, if you didn't know, we talk gossip.
We talk gossip.
Anonymous gossip, because we want to see if it still like goes off even without knowing the people.
If you don't know the person, is it still gossip? Is it still funny? And I think it is. I've got a bit that came through, and also if you're listening and you have any gossip,
please submit it to us.
Change the name.
You know, find us on Rough Trade, send it over. We'll swap you gossip for whatever you want.
4 months later, hit me up.
And I have a beauty question to ask you and everyone at home.
Question. I'm not going to be the right person to ask.
It's like an opinion beauty question.
My answer, I already know. Brown eyeshadow.
So should I go next?
Yeah, what's your
question? So my question is, speaking of Facebook groups, go off segue. I have been put into one which is all for people who are in the beauty industry, like who are learning or practicing or like do things for cheap. There's like this whole Facebook group about that where they need models, they need people to like practice balayage on or to practice eyebrow lamination or to
looking for like models.
Looking for people if they've like just started a new business or if they're like just got their certificate or if they're like need more photos for their portfolio. Like I'm talking hair, nails, lips. They even do the lip lamination, which looks so disgusting.
Lip lamination?
Yeah, like I think they tattoo your lips red.
Oh, they tattoo it? Or is that the one there's like one you can like, maybe it's like a trend where people are just like super gluing their lip up. So
are you serious?
Like that.
Oh,
Georgia
that's disgusting. Oh my God, I hate that. But you could get that for 50. If you could get that for $50, would that change your mind?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
I don't want my lip glued up, but if it's only $50,
I'm losing money by not doing it.
It'd be crazy of me to not get my lip glued to the top of my mouth.
So, anyways, I've been put in this group, and I remember thinking like, jackpot, because the amount of money I'm spending on hair, we're talking like $500 and like nails and all blah 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 blah. Then I spoke to a friend who was like, absolutely not slutty, especially not your eyelashes. Like she's like, I've seen videos of people who get glue in their eyes and like all that kind of stuff.
Lashes.
So that's my question. To me, every time I love a bargain. Who doesn't love a bargain? And these, all of them can't be terrible. So I'm looking, being like, oh, this would be so good, like $20.
Yeah.
But then the other half of me is like, do I write it off completely because you are taking a big risk with beauty things, which are the most important things?
I think it depends, okay? Because I'm someone who also loves a bargain and I'm willing to take a risk for a bargain. Mm-hmm. Okay, I think I've told you about this, but quite famously, I have had students give me acupuncture.
What?
Hell yeah. I'm gonna go, oh my God, maybe I'll go again. I'm gonna be down in Melbourne. It's like the College of Natural Therapies or something in Melbourne. You can go literally $30.
So you're literally doing this, I think.
But it was full on needles in my body.
That's scary to me because that could like fuck you up.
It like hypothetically could. It doesn't go that deep, and they've got like their like teacher there that's like with them. So it's like all these different students, and the teacher's like walking around. $30 for an hour. They gave me like a massage. They did cupping as well, which is they get like these like suction cups and it like sucks the muscle off your bone, and like I need all that, and it was really.
And how did you hear about this?
My friend who was living in Melbourne, she is studying to be a naturopath as well, so she got me onto it. I reckon, look, don't do any like cosmetic tattooing. I wouldn't do eyelashes. Things like eyebrows, like pretty
Maybe.
like,
And hair, I was thinking.
and hair. If you just want to dye it brown, which like to cover up the blonde that keeps coming through, like fucking do, like box dyes are fine. So
Yeah.
surely like a hairdresser would be even better than that.
Or like even a styling, like a blow dry or something.
Yes,
Okay.
a blow dry, definitely.
So it's nuanced, the answer. It's
If
like
you
a
want-
sometimes yes,
Yeah.
sometimes no.
If you just want to get like a blow dry to go to the open mic, go to the student. But if you want to get a blow dry to do like a feature spot, unpaid, go to the salon.
Go to the salon. Spend $80 on the blow up.
$80, absolutely. It's tax deductible.
That's my question. If anyone wants to be in the group, let me know. I'll put you in.
I reckon put me in.
Okay.
Put me in.
And also, if we did it together, that could be fun.
That would be fun.
Mm.
We could go get our lips glued together, like we're kissing. Is it extra if you glue my lip on hers? I don't even know if this segues into anything. It's just on like the haunted mansion. I hope this is sounding okay.
Yeah.
I know it's echoey, and there's also people outside like leaf blowing pretty much around the clock, which is like, is it crazy? Did we talk about this before? Like,
No.
I don't understand how it's like, oh, there's some leaves on the ground. What's the solution? Like 100 decibel
It's actually...
cannon horn.
I honestly think, and this is so hack to say, but that leaf blowers should not exist.
They
and the
shouldn't.
only things that should exist are a thing called leaf suckers. I mean, I don't know if that's the official name, but they suck the leaves into a
Yeah.
bag and then you put them in the green bin.
That's existed. I've seen that.
And no one's doing that.
No one is doing
Everyone's blowing, no one's sucking.
Why isn't Dyson doing something about this?
Because-
like, silent fucking. You could probably use their $500 hairdryer to do it,
Yeah.
to do your leaves. Anyway, but just noisy things. And then also at my house, which we
Mm.
haven't previously recorded at, I don't think we could hear him because I've shut the door. But I have a neighbor who is a lovely man. He's never going to listen to this.
No.
Why do I even need to change his name? And also, like, no shade. Peter, if you're listening,
We love you.
we love you. But he's always talking about things on his balcony. It's really funny. He just like sits on his balcony all day taking phone calls, and I can hear him all the time. I hear little snippets. This morning I heard him. He called someone up and he said, hello. It must have been his bank or something. And he was like, I've just received a message which I think might be a scam. And they've said that I need to pay $70 or my connection will be terminated. Can you confirm?
That sounds real to me.
That sounded real to me.
$70.
I was like, scammers are not scamming for $70. But
Yeah.
maybe that's the scam.
And what did you hear the rest of it?
I didn't hear the resolution. But
We'll
anyway,
never
the
know.
other day I heard him, he was talking to someone. He has like quite long, intimate conversations. And he
On
was,
his balcony.
yeah,
You should do the same.
I should. Who would I talk to?
Me. We'll talk about the fungus and stuff like that.
Yeah, true.
Do you know that Chasers gets Clyde the slightly too loud commuter?
No, but that sounds like this guy.
That's what it is.
He was on the phone the other day and he was talking about a medication he was on. And he was like, the medication hormonally actually had an effect where it did make my breasts develop.
No.
And I found myself, I had these quite perky,
serious?
prepubescent teenage breasts. I found myself quite attracted to myself sometimes.
No, he did not say that.
He
He
said these
absolutely
words.
did not say
He
that.
said these words on his balcony for
Yes.
everyone to hear.
I would have been at the bottom like, yes, queen, go off.
It's like we're just trying to work from home and like you're just on the computer trying to write a novel. I'm just trying to write a masterpiece and there's this
I mean, I
going
think
on.
that's your masterpiece. I think
it
you need a
is.
character like him in
Oh
it.
my god, you couldn't make it up.
That's pretty insane.
Do you hear your neighbours at all?
No, but I've said this, I think, to you before. I think we're the loud neighbours that everybody hates.
I have no,
no one
doubt.
ever-
I see you
no one-
pacing around your room. Clonk, clonk, clonk.
Yeah, and we're always laughing up the stairs and
Yes.
giggling and like making noise and maybe like loud sex and stuff like that. So I think everyone hates us for that reason. But here's the truth: I don't know how to be any other way, and I bet neither does your
She
friend.
doesn't know. Oh my god. Well, look, I'm just looking at this gossip that came through.
Wow. Okay,
I've
let's
got
go.
definitely 2 bangers and a few others that are not as good. This one actually is maybe my a good one, my favorite.
Okay, let's go.
This came through, we'll keep it all in on.
Yeah.
A lovely lady in Brisbane sent it through, and she said her mum's old gynecologist in kind of a regional centre in Queensland. I won't name the city. This is all anonymous. So her mum's old gynecologist left his family for his eldest daughter's best friend. What do you think about that? You don't like. She doesn't like. She's crawling under the table. You don't like that. So I asked for more details, and she said the eldest daughter was 17.
No.
And him and the best friend started a whole new family. She's pretty sure they're still married. And he was like the most trusted gynecologist in the town. Like he delivered her brother. Like, you know what I was thinking? I would be like, if I was that girl and I was 17 and like the old man wanted to be with me, you'd be pretty flattered because you'd be like,
oh my God.
he's seen some pussies.
Can I just say this to you?
What? You're very distressed.
I know. No, that is honestly insane. And you know what I want to say is that we've been talking about this like every second that we live our lives. Things like this are happening all over the globe. Things that I couldn't wrap my head around are happening every single second, okay? Every drop in the ocean. But what I wanted to say is, and see if this is relatable. The times that I dated these 35-year-old men, okay? There's 2 in my history.
Which is not old.
Which is not old, but it's older. And
Older.
to me, why it's hot is because it's like they're men. They're real men, grown up with real lives. Like it's very different to dating like an 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, whatever year old. It would be weird if I dated an 18-year-old.
Yeah.
But anyways, and there's also, I don't know if this is the case, but it feels like flattering because you think these men have the whole world. They've got women at their fingertips.
Yes.
And to meet someone like, and I'm making this me, I think me. I don't think young girl, I think me. And it's like, he's with me despite me being young. And like, I must be special and I must have all the wisdom and like bosoms and enough to fulfill this man who's lived a life. And then you find out, in some cases, that you are not special and you are in a whole lineup of young women. And so that then triggers, so I'm just trying to tap into like, I'm always wanting to be special. I'm walking into everything trying to be like, can you tell me I'm special? Tell me I'm special. And so then in this scenario, you would think you're so special. That's what I mean. If you went and had kids, then that kind of proves it. But for me, if I'm just fucking and sucking and then it's over and then he moves on, in my head, I'm like, no, I wasn't.
I think you're still special. And I also...
Yeah,
I guess...
Make it real, but it's just because I was thinking about that.
I guess, like, they are in a regional town, though. Like, he wouldn't have, like, the pick of the bunch, you know? And he's, like, surveyed the town's vaginas. He's seen them.
I know. He's been in and around.
Imagine being a small town gynecologist. You really could just, like, go to the shops and be like, I've seen everyone's pussy in this whole
But you wouldn't
city.
be seeing it in a sexy way. You've got to give me a break. No, if men love pussy so much, how come not all of them are gynecologists? Like, they want to eat it. They don't want to, like, inspect it and find, like, fungus in there and all that kind of...
Do you use that?
No, I don't have that. That's fantastic gossip.
But yeah, that was great gossip.
I think that's gossip you can tell other people.
Yeah, did that work for you guys listening at home? Was that
I'm
salacious?
going to tell other people. Let's go to another one.
That's good. Another one was quite a long story, so I'm going to kind of try to condense it a little bit. I know.
Wow.
Thank you very much to this person who sent it in. Let's call him... We should have like a name for all of the gossip people.
Yeah, what, like fake names?
No, like Goss Pig or something.
Okay.
This is coming from a Sydney Goss Pig.
Goss Pig, let's go.
I hate it.
I hate it as well.
We're going to change that. Okay, so this guy is, for a job, he's a chauffeur. So he drives rich people around.
That's the hot goss.
And I was like, okay, well, that's the gossip. That's amazing. I didn't know you were doing that. I didn't know you were doing it. Last time we talked, you were working at McDonald's, so congrats.
Step up. Huge.
Anyway, he's got a client who books him quite regularly. And he books him personally, like he quite likes him, but he's kind of like an enigma, this guy. They don't know what he does for work or anything, but he hires him for like really mundane jobs, like just drive me around, whatever. And it's really expensive, so he must be super rich.
Shit.
And they all kind of have a little joke that he like must be like a mafia boss or something. So it's this guy, anyway, picture him, Fat Tony, that's how I'm picturing him.
You mean like from The Simpsons?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's first, and then second is
What did you think?
Tony Soprano from The Sopranos.
Yeah. I thought you were like...
Let's go cartoon first, and then let's go real life character.
Well, I said Fat Tony, unless you meant like... Do you mean like Fat Tony, like my uncle in Sardinia?
Okay, and speaking of cartoons, we've really got to bring Bugs Bunny into this later.
Yeah, Concetta's been pretty wet for Bugs Bunny this week, so we'll get into that. But anyway, so he was working on another job, a few people going to the city, but he was like chilling, he had a lot of downtime for that job. And then he's into that job and he gets a call all of a sudden from the guy, Fat Tony. And he says like something is really wrong if he's calling. It'd be really weird for him to call his like driver that he works with. And he says like, hey Tim, can you come down to the restaurant as soon as possible? There's been an accident.
He shot himself.
Maybe. And then he's freaking out because he's like, oh my God, like what's happened? What could I even do to help? And he like runs down the street, goes to the restaurant. And then when he gets there, like the waitress like looks really frantic and she like ushers him in to the private dining room. And then he walks in and there's all these people sitting around the room looking in like distress.
No.
And then he sees his client. He's sitting at the head of the table. It looks like a scene from a mafia movie. And he like beckons him over softly and whispers in his ear. And he says, I'm afraid something has happened. Sharon has had a little accident. And then he's like, oh my God, this woman's dead. And then he says, it must have been the food. And then he says, she couldn't control herself.
She got horny.
and he's like, what? And then he goes, she went to the bathroom and she made a mess. She shot herself.
Mm-hmm.
And then he like notices the smell and he looks over and he sees this woman. She's like sitting on the couch. She's like being consoled. She's very embarrassed. She shot her pants in the bathroom. And he got the call because he was like, we got to get this woman out of here. And he was like, do you have anything she can like sit on in the car?
Oh.
And then, yeah, it's pretty funny. And he still sees them all the time. Still works for them.
Awesome.
He knows that she shot herself.
I mean, that's awesome.
That's good, right?
That's good. And again, it adds to the thing that I say, which is you've got to shit yourself at least once. You've got to know what it's like. Even the rich, even the mafia bosses, you know?
Yes, I don't personally.
God, that was such a build-up.
It really was. He, like, wrote it. You know, like, and thanks so much for the story as well. Anonymous gossip driver. Ryan Gosling, code name for that, like, Drive.
Yeah, Drive.
Movie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of another one for Gossip Pig.
Gossip Girl.
Goshawk.
Dan Humphries.
We'll brainstorm later. Okay, so
yeah, and then I couldn't get any
so
other
interesting.
gossip really. Just nothing that is succinctly juicy.
We'll keep finding things.
Yeah.
I just still, that story sort of sits with me, of just like I want to know more about the Enigma Man. And like that felt like a movie. That felt like Goodfellas, but then it ends with the wife shitting her pants.
And that is the ending that we needed.
Yeah.
Actually, there was one more that came through from another little gossip, and it was about their friend from high school has just had a baby with one of their teachers. Yeah. Their former teachers.
Yeah. That is
that happens a lot.
That's around. That's a big thing. Yeah.
There was another one. That's like we heard another one from someone else.
Yeah.
And
Isn't that on the last pod?
Oh my God. See, that's the problem.
What?
My brain. Was it on the last pod?
Did you ever have a real and significant crush on a teacher at school?
I don't think so.
Great.
No.
None of them hot enough for you.
None of them hot enough. There was like one quite young teacher that came. You know, just when anyone is like under 30 in school, you're like, everyone is wet for them. And, he was obviously gay. We did not know at the time. And now I know, like I know him now.
That's crazy.
I don't know. I grew up, I feel like I didn't meet a gay person until I was 21. Mm-hmm. Obviously I did, just did not know.
But didn't know. Yeah.
That's life. That's life on the upper, outer northwest of Sydney.
Crazy. I had the same thing with a teacher, but I actually had 3 crushes on 3 separate teachers during my schooling.
Of course you did.
And one was very old, and one was Greek, and one was I now know as a gay Frenchman. Wow. But had no clue.
Greek, old, and gay French.
The Greek had a big fat ass.
Of course.
And I think I was known for like being in love with the teachers. And
did they like stay away from you?
No. And I feel like I had really good banter with the old man. And I
That's
just,
called chemistry.
yeah, I think we had good chemistry. And also he taught me maths. And I just remember it was like in the beginning of class, he was very serious, a very serious man. And then I broke him. I was funny in class. And
that's vulnerable.
I think that's what made me a comedian. Because I was like...
Because you made your like fat ass hot Greek teacher laugh.
No. This is the old man.
Oh.
So the Greek teacher was like a middle-aged, like young kind of cutish man if you're into like sort of woggish men, which a lot of girls weren't. Then the Frenchman was honestly gorgeous, beautiful. I'm so close to saying their names. Like French Monsieur, that's what you call him.
Yeah, I call anyone Monsieur.
And he was also Italian.
What?
He was Italian, I'm French.
Okay.
So I'm just sort of like going off. And then the one who was a big deal for me is the older man who taught maths and was serious, and then I made him laugh. I think I made them all laugh. And then when I was in high school, I got chemistry tutoring, and I also really liked him too. I think there must be something about the power.
Yeah.
It's the power and the like pick me, I'm
kind
special.
Of like older paternal figures. It seems like you kind of...
It sounds like I might have daddy issues.
I don't think we need to read into that.
No.
I don't think there was anything. I don't think there's anything going on there.
No. No, that's gross. No.
Then next week you'd be like, I saw the postman, and I was like,
Anyways, no regrets. Live your life.
No regrets. You told me that you wanted to talk about love.
Oh yeah.
Which is, you said a great thing the other day that I can't stop thinking about. I asked you how long you and Ben, your partner, boyfriend, whatever, had been together, and you were like, because you were talking about how you're upset that he hasn't proposed.
Yeah.
Which is fine. And I said, well, look, like, if you haven't been together that long, how long have you been together? And you said, it'll be 2 years in September. And so now we're in March, and that is, 6-7 months away. So, like, how long...
That sounded perfectly normal to coming out of my mouth.
No, it's so crazy. It's literally like if you were like, oh my God, I love my boyfriend so much. Like, and I'll be like, oh, how long have you been together? And you were like, well, it'll be 1 year in March next year. Like, is that how we're talking now?
And then I tried it as a bit, and it went well. I said, I have a boyfriend, it's going really well. This time next year, it'll be our 1 year. And then I was like, we just met. And then I explained the joke after.
Yeah.
I was like, this happened because And then Ben today said to me, he was like, I think we were just laughing at something. He was like, it'll be our 10-year anniversary in 9 years.
Because this is actually what my friend who is... She does have OCD, and then she also is just an incredibly morbid person. Shout out, you know who you are listening. She said in the group chat, she was like, oh my God, guys, in 14 years, we're going to be 40.
I'd be thinking about that every day.
And like, I was like, yeah. We are. Did I even do the maths on that?
Someone needs to say it. Someone needs to address the thing that's happening in the future.
And it was like, but she was genuinely distressed. And like, having a laugh too.
Yeah.
But she always does this.
14 years. You've got to think about it. It's all perspective.
Yes, and she was like, 14 years is no time at all. It's nearly 10 years since we left high school. And then I'm just going to be 40. I'm already dead. And I was like...
That's funny. A girl like her makes you seem much less...
Yeah.
Whatever the word
is.
You
see, that's the craziest thing. Literally, all of my comedy friends see me as like a type A neurotic, like
old
life
woman.
is put together, old crone. Yeah. And then my like other like core group of girlfriends are like, Lauren is a crazy,
she's the hip one,
bitch. And then I like told them, I was like, did you know people think that like I don't hang out, that I'm boring? They're like, what? You go out at 8 o'clock for a gig. On a weeknight. And
that's different.
I know.
That's
I don't get any respect. I don't get no respect.
Welcome to my world. I get zero respect everywhere I go.
No one respects me.
But what I wanted to say about love was just, I mean, this is an old, and I thought maybe we could talk about bits that we've thought about that haven't worked or aren't working, because this was something I thought about ages ago, making into a bit.
I think that would be funny for the podcast if we talk about things that we've tried and know that aren't funny, and then we talk about it on the podcast.
Yeah. Oh, and you... I really was like, oh, she likes it. Okay.
Yeah, no, like things we know for sure aren't funny. That's what we should be talking about. No, we should do it. I'm sorry.
No, it would.
Sorry.
Okay. So this thing is one time I was at Pasitzi, I think with Ben and Luke and stuff. Anyways, I was at Pasitzi.
Sounds about right.
And I meet this
That's
girl.
a restaurant, by the way.
You've got to go. It's in Newtown. And say that I sent you. They'll give you a bread roll.
Yeah, this is the best introduction to Concerto in the world. We went to this restaurant, which is a normal restaurant. It's a nice restaurant. But we walked in and she saw a waiter and she screamed. And she went, oh my God. And she started crying. Her eyes welled up. And then the waiter like stopped what he was doing. He was like taking an order and he was like, actually, hang on a second. He walked over and they like embraced. What's his name?
Francesco.
And he was like, Concetta. And he was like, Francesca. And he was like, no, I'll see you right away. We got like free food. And I was like, oh, how do you know him? Is he your cousin or something? You're like, oh, I just know him from here. I just know him from here from being a waiter. Like, that's how much pasta you're eating. That's...
Stop breathing.
He's like crazy.
Like,
I'm just like, am I crazy for like not establishing intimate relationships with waiters at restaurants?
My eyes are welling up. You telling that story again. I'm like, I miss him. I've got to go see him. I got to get a bowl of pasta. I love him so much. I love him. And so, anyways, I'm at that restaurant, at that establishment. And a girl recognizes Ben from doing stand-up comedy, Okay Famous, and she's really sweet. And, you know, Ben doesn't actually talk, so I'm talking to her, getting to know her. She's like...
He just comes up and whispers to her, holy dolly, babe, can you take this one?
And she's telling us her date goes to the bathroom. So I'm speaking to her alone. And she's like, yeah, I'm on a date. I'm like, oh, is it your first date? She's like, no, we've been like together for like 9 months or something like that. And then I was like, or something. And then I think I asked her, I was like, oh, like, have you said I love you? And she was like, no. 9 months in, they hadn't said I love you. And she was like, I'm waiting for him to say it. Like, I don't want to say it. And I remember thinking, it was like 2 months in or 1 month and we hadn't said it, and I was freaking out being like, if he doesn't love me now, what is the point of this? I remember I said I love you to Ben first and he didn't say it back straight away, and then I honestly had a breakdown. I was like, well, if you aren't feeling this and I am, it's like, well, I really thought we were feeling it. And then he said it to me back late.
So I guess the
days
question
later
is like, when do you say I love you?
No, it's not that question. It's like, what are you doing for 9 months? You don't feel... I'm like, what's the point? Should you be on the wedding altar and you both haven't said it and you're just like... That freaked me out. I was like, sweetie, what are you doing? 9 months? Am I crazy? You could have had a baby in that time.
Yeah, yes and no. I think it depends on like what they were doing. Like when I got into my relationship, I was like very like, I don't want anything serious. I gotta take this slow. I gotta take a chill. And it was almost a year till we said I love you.
What?
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
I think we both like thought it way before that.
Yeah.
But
as soon as I'm thinking it, I want to say it. You know how many times I say I love you a day? Imagine that to who I actually love. Who I want.
Okay. So what, me and Francesco are just like pieces of shit now? You don't really
You know what
us?
I mean? Who I love and want to make babies with. I think there's something.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
What is it, your fungus?
I think it could be.
The fungus is spreading, guys. It's happening live.
Oh. So anyways, I know everyone's different and I actually don't really judge anyone, but in my point of view, and if I was speaking on stage about my thing, I'd be like, I'd be dead. I'd be dead if 9 months and it's going well, there's no problems, and you haven't said I love you yet.
But maybe they weren't like serious, maybe they weren't that exclusive, maybe they were taking it slow.
Okay, so it needed more follow-up questions is what you're saying.
I think maybe that's what happens when you meet a stranger for the first time and you ask them outright in the space of time that their partner is in the bathroom. So this is a man too. I'm going to say 3 minutes. You said, in and out. Have you said I love you?
Maybe. Yeah, I think so. I'm not afraid to ask the big questions and to say the big 3, I love you.
The big 3.
But what I'm saying is, like, I'm getting in a relationship to say I love you, to love the person. Yeah. And I had that not being serious with Ben. I had that time. It was great. I was the one that said it.
You had that 3 weeks.
I was the girl boss that was like, no.
And I think it was not. I think you were quite emotional.
I still was emotional.
I had my crazy, sexy time and I cried in the car.
I did. But it was, you know, that Ben was the first time that I learned what it was like to be with someone who I'd always thought as a kid, like, you had to only fall in love with like your best friend who like knew you and accepted you for who you were. And I was like, oh, you can get that with a stranger. It took time with Ben, and that's why it was so rewarding, and why I'm like, okay, it's a 1.5 years in. Where is the ring? Let's go. Anyways, that's my story. That's all I want to say.
Yeah, interesting. I guess, listeners, we want more interaction from you because we want anything to talk about.
We'd love to hear your stories. Oh, I forgot.
What?
I have a story from someone about the pod to me, but it's on my phone.
Oh my god.
I know, I'm the
Can
worst.
you just remember the line?
I think so, and thank you to this person who messaged me, but they were so sweet and said, and gave me a suggestion of a nude beach to go to in Adelaide. And I was like, well, when I'm there, I will go there.
Absolutely.
And then he told me all this crazy stuff about like them having campfires, and they would do this ritual where they would like go and run into the water at like when it's really cold one day in winter or something. He was like, you should totally do it.
That's a thing. They do that big nude ice cold swim or something in Tasmania. And I'm like, well, it's cold and there's a lot of other people there. So why I don't see the appeal.
I'm there. I'm like, let's go. But anyway, so thank you so much for saying that to me. And we filmed this on my phone, so I do not have it.
Well, actually, no one messaged me about the pod. So
cheers.
Yeah, thanks a lot, I guess.
Fungus, rise up. Fungus team, rise up. Team Fungus.
Fungus cream team.
Should we wrap it up?
Yeah, I reckon we're coming up to 45. But like, thanks so much. Literally, do message us with any feedback, any suggestions, any gossip.
We would love your gossip. Talk to your friends about gossip. It's a great way to like make conversation with someone. I'll ask strangers now. I'll get into an Uber and I'll be like, hey, do you have gossip?
Boom. You will.
There you go.
That's it. Because it doesn't matter, I think, if you know the person. If you find out that someone somewhere had, left their wife for a teenager and they were a gynecologist in a small town, like, that's amazing.
Next time you're at the gynecologist, you'll probably think of that gossip and then tell your gynecologist, and then maybe that gynecologist will also leave their partner for the 17-year-old.
Maybe they'll just be that extra bit careful and gentle with your precious cervix.
Fabulous.
Beautiful.
All right, we'll see you next week. Bye.
Subscribe, like, rate, review.